Oh man, I know what y'all thinking. Not another man with a podcast talking about being an alpha male and giving dating advice. Well, if you came here for that, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Welcome to Collector versus Creator podcast, where we talk anime, gaming, cosplaying, various other things. I'm your host, JG Collects, and I am a statue collector. As you can see, the Sonic piece here before you is a beautiful piece from First Four Figures. There's roughly about 700 of these here available. But we ain't here for that. We here for my guest, Ray Arts.
What's up, everybody? My name is Raymond Youngblood. My art name is Ray's Arts. I'm a digital freelance illustrator here in Pittsburgh, PA.
That's what's up, man. My man's coming fresh off of BlurCon, fresh off of Anime Expo. You know what I'm saying? How was it?
Both events were incredible, man. Like it was an amazing use of my time. You know, Anime Expo is always great. Like this was my 4th time going, so it was really cool. And this was my 3rd time going to BlurCon.
Damn, third.
Yeah.
Damn, some of the pictures got you going like that. Like, man.
Hey, man, art is the future. So, you know, of course, there's always going to be a way for you to carve a path for yourself in this industry.
That's dope, man. How did you get started in that?
What do you mean, like just drawing in general, or like digital art? Like,
how did you get in, like, your first art piece? How did you get in?
I've been drawing since I was 4. Sonic the Hedgehog, which I appreciate, the statue, was actually the very first thing that I drew. Turns out that I'm a kid who always liked to be praised. It was put on the fridge, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the future for me. Most kids want to grow up to be a fireman, a policeman, lawyer, scientist, astronaut. I had one dream since I was 4, and that was to become a cartoonist. And so I sat out and made that a reality. I've been drawing digitally since 2016. And in 2021, I made it a full-time career.
Jesus Christ, and I see it's working out very well for you.
Yeah.
Should let me hold something in the cash app, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. I'm good, but I ain't that good.
Nah, you good, man. But Anime Expo, I seen a lot of clips. I seen a lot of lines. How was it?
So, the wild thing is, that big crowd that got put on TikTok and all that, that wasn't everywhere, man. Actually, I think that this Anime Expo was a lot more organized than a lot of the ones in the past. Usually, you're in line for 3-4 hours, and you don't even know if you're going to be able to get into a panel or not. But this year, they seem to handle the lines a lot better. I was in line maybe 30 minutes tops for every panel that I wanted to get into, and I got into everything that I want, and I even won a PS5. So, yeah.
How did you win the PS5? Talk about it, man.
I sat in a room and figured out a password. I know that sounds crazy, but Crunchyroll was hosting a bunch of premieres, so they did the Bone Studio presentation in there where we found out about a new anime that's about to come out from the creator of Soul Eater.
Okay.
Well, he's the character designer, rather, I should say. I watched Link Click episode 1 and 2 for season 2. If you're not watching Link Click, you're missing out. It was definitely like the best anime I've seen in a long time.
It's Link Click. I ain't even never heard of that.
Man, so the premise is 2 dudes can travel back in time through the use of photographs, and so they solve crimes and mysteries that have been like case closed, like a closed case, and figure out what was going on in there to be able to figure out how to create a better future. It's super dope. And it's a Chinese anime too. So like I can't remember what the actual term for it is, but it's really cool to see that anime is like not only just a Japanese thing anymore, but it's growing globally. You know, we have Radiant in France, and even a lot of the American cartoons are starting to have that anime style look to it. Most recently, that new Superman cartoon that just premiered on Adult Swim.
Now, I did watch Radiant. I felt like it was a fairy tale knockoff. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what it felt like.
I can see that.
That's what it felt like to me. Also, about that bigger con, I know it had to smell musty because every con, it's just like people can afford it, but nobody can afford deodorant. It blows my mind.
Man, so BlurCon, there was actually a vendor there who was selling deodorant and body wash. And I've never seen like that at a convention before. And I was like, man, only us. Only we'd figure out to do something like that. But hey, he sold well, which I mean makes sense because, and BlurCon is definitely one of the better smelling cons out of all the ones that I've been to.
Oh yeah, what makes it so different? And also, hold on, before you even answer that, that was actually going to be my next business venture to go sell, like, come on, bleach body wash? Come on, man.
That's a fire idea.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I think BlurCon smelled better because, taking showers and cleaning up.
Which don't need to be.
Very, very essential in our culture, man.
I seen Creed Summers was there.
Yeah, Cree Summers was there, and so was Rachel True.
Get the...
Yeah. The cool thing about Cree is that that Friday night was actually her birthday party. So she actually celebrated her birthday at BlurCon with us. It was a big party in the ballroom. It was,
wow, yo,
yeah.
Like, Creed Summers, how's she in person?
She's super nice, man. She's really, really cool. She seems to really love the fans, and like she's just down to earth, just individual. She's really nice.
I bet she loves us, man. We make her rich. These cars, like, they all love us, man.
Her voice is everywhere. Her voice is literally everywhere.
Yes.
So you're absolutely right.
She is our childhood, man.
Black don't crack either. Like I walked past her because I didn't realize that she was her, and it was funny. So me and my friend, we saw a bunch of Susie Carmichael's cosplay. Then we saw a bunch of Number Fives, and then we saw a bunch of Foxy Loves. And I saw this girl, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she's cosplaying as Cree Summer. She's Cree Summer."
Wow.
Yeah. She looks no older than 25.
Oh yeah. Speaking of your childhood, what inspired you to get into doing art?
Well, like I said earlier, Sonic. But as I got older, so when you're a kid, you're just drawing stuff just to draw, almost. Like I drew Sonic, and then I drew Pokemon, and then I drew Dragon Ball. But as I got older, an anime finally truly resonated with me as a person. Full Metal Alchemist 2003. I know that a lot of people, love Brotherhood, and I like Brotherhood.
It's the best one.
Well,
Here we go.
To make a super long story short with that, Brotherhood, it relies on you either watching the 03 anime or being a manga reader. I feel like the 03 anime does a greater job of emotionally tying you to characters. Like, if you just watch Brotherhood, you're not going to have an emotional tie to Hughes. Even the Shao Tucker incident, was a 2-episode thing in 03.
That's true.
Whereas in Brotherhood, it's kind of sped past because it was just 1 episode. With Brotherhood, they're trying to basically rush to get to the Greed arc so that they can show all the new stuff that was never animated before. Whereas with 03, they take their time and really get us involved in the world and with the people so that whenever the harsh things do happen, we're emotionally gutted a lot more in 03. And I actually really like the twist with the homunculi in that series as well.
I'm glad you said that because I like the backstory. I like how they did Pride in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Sloth were like kind of my 2 favorites, but Roy Mustang really carried that because he got way more character development versus the first one. He was just kind of cut and dry, and then Scar's backstory was way more fleshed out.
Absolutely. I think that Lust was probably the best done in the 03 anime, but as far as like Pride or Wrath, rather, I guess, in the Brotherhood, I actually like them a bit more in 03 as well.
Now, where did you grow up here in the city?
So I grew up a little bit of everywhere. I was born in Homewood, but I lived everywhere. I lived in Oakland. I lived on the Hill District. I lived out in Elizabeth Township at one point in time. Elizabeth Township, man, like super far, yeah. And I'm a weirdo who like tries his best to keep in touch with all of my friends throughout my life. So like I still talk to people from when I was like 6 and 8 years old down living in Elizabeth Township. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, man.
Yep. I eventually ended up at Carmel before moving to North Carolina for a few years, and then I came back and ended up at Career Connections.
What is Career Connections?
It's honestly the coolest high school that doesn't exist anymore. So in my 12th grade year, I went to school Tuesday and Thursday, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday I had an internship. So like I worked at my school, but I was like a computer tech guy. And by like March, I was done with all my stuff for class. So I was just chilling even on Tuesdays and Thursdays just for computer stuff. It was really, really nice.
Shit, what kind of school was that? Where was that at?
Lawrenceville, man.
Lawrenceville?
Yeah. You had the option. You could either get a job on your days off, an internship, or go to CCAC and the school to pay for you to go. So the intent was for you to be able to be career ready by the time you graduated. They taught us how to do a business plan in 10th grade. It was awesome.
Lord forbid if the North Side ever had anything like that. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Damn, I see. That's why you got a little opportunity in life.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you get into vending at some of these events?
Honestly, man, grinding. So, they say that luck is preparation meets perspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working my butt off for years. You know what I mean? Like, whenever I quit my job, I actually ended up getting a comic gig on that Monday. So I quit my job on a Friday, and I ended up getting a comic gig that Monday. The person had no idea that I quit my job or anything. They just called me, hey, we need you for this. And ever since then, I've used different opportunities to be able to go out and vend and find places. The Anime NYC story is absolutely nuts. So I'm at Crunchyroll Expo last summer, and it's my last day. I'm rooming with some people that I don't really know, and the only roommate that I liked left a day early. So
Why would you do that?
well, save money. I told you I'm not as great off as you think I am. But I go down and I have like 3 beers left that I want to finish before I go catch my flight.
Mm-hmm.
So I go down to the lobby and there's this dude I'm sitting across from, and I'm like, yo, you know, like, do you care if I have a beer before my flight? Yeah. He's like, oh no, man, come join me. And so we're talking about the con and like different anime that we like and yada yada yada. And he's telling me just how busy he is. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm really busy, so like I'm only watching One Piece. Like, One Piece is a commitment for a busy guy, but all right, sure, whatever.
It's also trash. But
One Piece is not trash.
Yeah.
Man.
I drive the bus for that one day.
That is the wildest take. I will say
day.
there are trash moments in One Piece, but the anime is not trash.
One Piece is my NyQuil.
Dang.
Okay. Luffy and the Bird King pirates do nothing for me.
Dang. We gotta dig into that. But so I'm talking to the guy, and eventually the conversation, you know, dries up. It's time for me. I just finished my beers. I gave him one, and it's time to go. And so I'm like, you know, you're super cool. Why don't we you know, like, talk some more? So I'm like, you have an Instagram, yada yada yada. He's like, well, I don't really get on Instagram, but I have a Twitter. And I was like, okay. He's like, as a matter of fact, why don't I just give you my card? This dude is Peter Tatara, the creator of Anime NYC. Yeah.
You got that in your back pocket?
Man, he was like, I heard you were talking about doing a panel for my event, but you're an artist. Why don't you have a table? It's like, well, artist alley applications are closed, yada yada. He's like, send me an email after you get home and get some rest. We'll figure it out. And surely enough, he found a way for me to be able to vend at Anime NYC. It was incredible, man. Incredible.
How much you make out on that?
Pretty decent. I guess what I'm saying, and this is to all kind of artists out there. Everything that you do, you always want to make sure to network and be your most genuine self. You know, you always want to talk about what you do and who you are. Not necessarily as like a cloud chaser, because I had no idea who this guy was. But I think that people are able to kind of tell, like, you're genuinely hungry and you're genuinely willing to do what you got to do to make a career out of what you want. And I find that people will help you. People will really help you on your journey.
That's what I found out going to these cons, because I decided about a month ago that I wanted to do this. And I stumbled across you at Animated in Columbus.
Yep.
This piece right here, this is what, damn, I'm holding it upside down. But this right here, this definitely caught my attention seeing Steve in the monster because it was something that I was going through recently. So I seen this, I was like, yo, let me talk to this dude, man. Then we talked, showed him my collection, told him I was getting ready to do. You took a chance and you here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad to be here too. That piece was a lot of fun. It was during COVID, and Steven Universe Future was just about to end, and like I'm a huge Steven Universe fan. Like I love Sonic, but love Steven Universe, man. And you know, like a lot of his internal struggles, figuring out who you are after the trauma and things of your childhood have kind of like subsided, really resonated with me. So I was able to create something that was able to put those feelings all into that, which is cool because a lot of times I create a lot, but sometimes I'm able to kind of put like my own personal feelings into a piece, and that was one of them. So I'm glad it resonated with you as well.
Yeah, man, you could definitely tell like your heart was into that one. Also wanted to know, because this is something I've always been curious about when it comes to people doing art. How don't you get like hit with any licenses or anything, or people coming at you for copywriting for doing that?
Because I'm drawing Steven, but I'm not claiming to own Steven.
Okay.
I'm not trying to make my own like series of Steven and then sell that for profit. It's just fan art.
Now, for anybody who's looking to get in to like being a vendor or even being an artist, is there anything you want to tell them that you wish that you would have known when you first got into it?
So if you're a kid and you're watching this, keep drawing. Draw every day and learn the fundamentals. Definitely learn body composition, learn how to draw portraits, learn how to draw still lives. Because all those rules that come from learning the hard stuff come into play whenever you are drawing your like cartoons and anime and things like that. It is super, super, super important. And when I was a kid, I didn't listen. I didn't understand. But you'll find yourself not on YouTube at 3 o'clock in the morning asking yourself how to do 3-point perspective because you would have already learned it and it would have been bashed in your head. If you are an adult, take a chance on yourself. You know, definitely go out, network, and figure out, you know, like what events are happening, even if it's just something in your city. If you're an artist, you're going to create regardless. I find that, especially like in a city like Pittsburgh, there are so many vendor events, so many things that you can do in your own city to kind of help build you up. And if you find that you're doing well there, then you can look out to see, okay, well, what are the vendor fees for Anime NYC? What are the vendor fees for Anime Expo and things like that, and budget accordingly. Another thing that I will do say, and you'll notice that I didn't actually have this at my table, but it's something I'm working on. Have various price points for things. You want to make sure to have, you know, like your prints, they're really huge, but also try to have stickers and pins and little things because someone may come to your table expecting to spend $10 instead of $20. And that slight difference is going to be all it takes between having a customer.
I'm glad you said about like look at local events in your city and stuff. Pittsburgh is known for poor advertisement. Like my God, it's terrible. Like next week we got Teco and Picklesburg at the same time, which is stupid. But are you vending at Teco?
I am not vending at Teco. I actually have a wedding to go to that weekend.
Okay.
So, but I would vend at Teco. There's actually a lot that I would like to do with Teco. So if you are someone that works with JCS, please, my email is raise.thearts@gmail.com. So hit me up.
So this is going to be my first Teco.
Okay.
Yeah, is there anything that you know you can tell me about it? Things I need to look out for?
Teco is really a super, super home con. Like, what I mean by that is that, like, it's not like Anime NYC or like BlurCon or anything like that. Oftentimes they'll have celebrities, like, I think it was 2 years ago, they had the voice actor for Deku up here. And whereas, like, at Anime Expo, I would have had to get in line like 3 hours before. It was 20 minutes until the panel, and I saw that there was really no line, so I went in after the panel started, and I was able to get in. And the room was small enough for me to be able to have a conversation with him also. He's a pretty cool guy.
I know, I met him before. Yeah, I met him at GalaxyCon.
Yeah.
Are you going to that in Columbus?
I'm thinking about it. A lot of people asked me to come back, so there's a high chance that I'll be there. Depending on the weather, because I'm not going to drive with all my merch in the snow. So, we'll see.
Hey, man, if you trying to get that bread, man, you got to do whatever.
Not crash my car.
Hey, look, you got to take risks. Have you seen the lineup?
No, I haven't.
You know Steve Downs is going to be there?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they got a couple of hitters and stuff.
Then the following weekend I have that wedding. Not my wedding. My wedding's October. What's up, babe?
Oh, you getting married?
Yeah, I'm getting married.
Hey, that's one thing I was talking to my girl. Everybody that I met recently in the anime community have good relationships. Everybody's either married or getting married.
Yep. Yeah, we've been together. It'll be 6 years in October. But my last event of the summer is Otakon. I will be a vendor there. So I'm super excited about that. Just left DC for BlurCon, but I'll be right back in DC in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's where Otakon is?
Yes, yeah, it used to be in Baltimore, Maryland, but now it's in DC. And then hopefully I'll find out in August if I'll be vending for Anime NYC, which I was there last year, so fingers crossed I'll be able to get back.
Oh, yeah, we definitely want to try to get you up in there, man. Well, what about VidCon in Baltimore?
VidCon, I'm actually not a YouTuber, so I didn't think. Do they have like vendor halls and things like that there?
Yeah, I seen something where they have vendors and stuff.
That's good to know for next year.
And then, you know, there's Game and Expo down here in Pittsburgh at the end of September.
Yeah, I did that last year and the year before, and it wasn't bad.
Is it worth going to? Because I'm thinking about going to.
It is worth it for general audience to go. For my art style, it doesn't necessarily match because I don't draw a whole lot of video game fan art.
Okay. What about StillCon?
I've not gone to Steel City Con, so
really,
it is something that I need to get done.
I'm not gonna hold you with StillCon, man. If it's your first con, it's great. But if you've been to other cons, you're gonna go there and be like, it's like it's like a back alley con. It's like a hole in the wall con. That's how I could best describe it.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of microtransactions at Steel City Con.
Is there? Every 2 feet, like.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's something that I might consider in the future.
I would, because it definitely. This year is definitely going to be great because they got Shawn Michaels, they got Method Man, they got a bunch of.
I did hear about Method Man being there, and so I might actually do that. So you've heard of the podcast The Crew Has It? Do you watch Power?
Yeah.
So I did a little like logo for The Crew Has It. Nothing crazy, just more so to try to get some attention from them. Gianni shared it, but they haven't actually like responded back to me yet. So I think that going there, this is how you do it, everybody. You go to the events, you figure out who the celebrities are who you want to see, and you talk to them about what you do. Don't be a weirdo about it though. Like don't like stalk them or anything like that. But if the opportunity presents itself, be ready.
So I've done some research on you, and I've seen that you got a painting in Floyd Mayweather's gym down here.
Yeah, I have 2 actually.
2. Excuse me.
The owner of the Floyd Mayweather gym in the Strip District actually commissioned me to do a mural for the grand opening, and eventually, because he loved that one, he actually wanted me to do another one with all the boxers. I didn't know that Pittsburgh had such a rich boxing history.
What?
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like I looked up like the top 10 classic boxers, and like 4 or 5 of them are from Pittsburgh. Like it's insane. But and that was actually my very first historical piece as well. So it was really just cool doing the research to make sure make that work. But yeah, he liked it so much he hired me again, and he's opening up a coffee shop soon, and I'll be doing the art for that as well.
Dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. You got anything else around the city too, or just that?
Nah, man, I'm glad you asked. So I did the logo for the What the Pho. It's a pho restaurant, which like it's spelled pho, PHO.
Okay.
It's like noodles, but it's a noodle and boba tea shop. They used to have it in Lawrenceville. It is now opened up its second location in Homestead. I call the rabbit Faux Rabbit. He's super adorable. He's on my Instagram. If you guys want to check him out. I also did a logo for a food truck called Chef in a Box, and they're always down at all the conventions. They were just down for the Juneteenth festival, and they'll be back for the Soul Food Festival as well. Man, I did a logo for a burrito, Rockstar Burritos in Texas. Yeah. I've definitely done other logos as well, but those are kind of the main ones that are sitting at the top of my head right now. Some other cool events, I did an album cover for a member of RDC World.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, did it for Af, the guy with the locks. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, little short dude.
Yep. And I actually just talked to Mark on last Saturday when I was at Anime Expo. So there may be some more things coming down the line from them.
Man, you got big things going on. You got a bright future, man.
I'm trying.
If anybody want to get in contact with you, how do they reach you?
Yeah, so email is probably the easiest, or my Instagram. I usually respond to every single DM, so even if it takes me a day or two, I will get back to you. But my email is raiz.the.arts@gmail.com, and my Instagram is raizarts, RAIZ_ARTS.
And also, one last thing, because this just came across on my mind when I was doing the research on you. You do take apprentices, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you said that. So another thing, I can't believe this is just coming up now. Sorry, kids, if you're watching this.
Nah, sorry me, L moderator.
But yeah, I'm actually a teacher as well here in Pittsburgh. I teach comics and illustration at Neighborhood Academy, Sarah Hines House, Environmental Charter, and I'm Lincoln Elementary, and I'm also looking to expand those contracts as well.
Now, how can, like, if anybody is watching this with kids, myself, how can we get plugged in with that?
Just send me an email. My rates are pretty competitive, and I make sure that parents see a pre and post test of the work that the kids do on their first day, so that they know that it's valuable work.
Now, is there an age range on the kids?
I mean, if I'm at home, and if I am at home, parents, you have to stay at home. You're not paying me to be a babysitter. So don't use it as time to go grocery shopping or anything like that. Be home. But usually I try, if you're out in the community, I'll do 10 to 12 for one group and then 13 to 16 for another group. But if you're at home, 8 and up's fine.
8 and up at home. Man, you taking a risk going to some people's cribs, man. I respect it, though.
Hey, man, it's just, like, a lot of times, especially, like, with COVID and everything like that, I find it a lot easier. Like, parents are more likely to accept you in the house versus in the community with a bunch of kids who they don't know and things like that. And it's a lot easier. Kids are a lot more comfortable at home, so it just works out a lot better that way sometimes.
And right now, Pittsburgh, man, we need a lot more people doing that. A lot more positivity out here, man.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're doing something like that.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any last little thoughts before we head up out of here?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for listening, tuning in to us. I want to thank you for this opportunity. And I just want to, again, shout out my social media, RAIZARTS, RAIZ_ARTS. My website is raizarts.com, and my email is raiz.the.arts@gmail.com.
This is Ray Arts. I'm JG Collects, and like that, we out.